Please, no.
The moment that you
Merkel,
start,
we'll have the power.
the moment that you start mentioning anything about either my internet or anything that is nearby, something is going to happen. I know it. Like my wife is putting up a bunch of our like art around the apartment because we haven't like completely moved in yet. We haven't put things up yet, but uh, we have the most fragile router. You breathe on it and it just turns off for 20 minutes. Oh, we're live. You didn't hear anything, Verizon. You didn't hear nothing. How's it going? How's it going, everybody? I hope that you all are having a very, very nice Thursday. This is the COVID episode of the second COVID episode of the Vereldium stream. I am Berserkus, and this is the ongoing Vereldium 5th edition campaign. This is our own personal stream-based campaign, all community-based. So if you would like to play, you may join us at the Discord, link right over here above my head. And you can also join us by just simply watching. All the trouble bubbles that you accrue down at the bottom right-hand corner of your chat box. You're going to see those things slowly accrue as you watch. You can gift the caravan wealth, supplies, health. You can send healing yodels. You can unleash the archers. You can send a fireball. All kinds of wonderful stuff that happens throughout the session. We do things a little bit differently here in the game. One of the things that we do that's homebrew is inspiration. We use inspiration cards. These are tarot cards. There are 4 ways our players can use them. They can either turn them in, reroll any dice. They can gift them to another player, and they can reroll any dice. They could force myself to reroll any dice, or they can tempt fate. They can say, I want to flip the card over, and whatever is on the other side of this card is going to affect the session at some point. Some cards are very good, some cards are very bad. Because of the wonderful roleplay that happened last session, I've gifted the entire party a card of inspiration. For those of you who do not have cards of inspiration, you do now. You'll notice that right here along my face, you're going to see the current names of the players that are here right now. You'll notice that Mad God Cthulhu is not one of them. It's okay. He is at work. Love, health, work, and family always come first. This is a game. So nobody is ever beholden to become here, but I always appreciate all of my players that are here. And with that, I'd like to introduce our players, or have our players introduce themselves. Coming back, there's a whoop. Maresh redeems a inspiration card. Lord Geyser said, let chaos reign and flip it. Okay. So this is for Iltus. We flip. Okay. Lord Geyser, what is your highest stat?
My highest stat is dexterity.
Roll a d4.
Cthulhu says he's heading out now.
Okay. While your character has full hit points, you get a bonus. You get a bonus 3 to your dexterity score. But your character must maintain full hit points. The moment he takes his first bit of damage, it returns. So you may add 3 to your dexterity score until you take your first bit of damage.
Nice.
All right. So, in our last session, we left it a bit of a cliffhanger. The party, who were the VWCA, is that right? VRWA?
VWLC.
VWLC. The Vereldium World Help
League of Champions.
League of Champions.
Vereldium Wrestling League of Champions.
As they all created their own wrestling style characters, they all decided that it was their best option to go and check out the Raxbillough household. The Raxbilloughs are merchants, merchant marines that hail from Inseldrache. It is the continent to the far east of Dortira, which is the continent you're currently on. They hold daily luncheons where the high-to-do are brought together to try and network and make as much much interesting business and do whatever noble people do. I honestly don't know. Like, I work in events in New York City, and I still don't get it. But they do it. So they throw one of those daily. As the party gets there, and they try to find the devil Balsheshba. He is the fiendish arms dealer that is causing a lot of havoc amongst the war in Dortira. As you all scour each one of the rooms and speak slowly with each of the very brightly colored guests, one of them does pique your interest just a little. After a little bit of time, you start to narrow down who could possibly be the demon in disguise, or the devil in disguise. And eventually he makes himself known. As you do battle with Balsheshba, he takes a mortal injury and then disappears into his own dimension. As this happened, you continue to scour the rest of the location, finding many scroll tubes, all with delayed casted scrolls inside of them, of Circle of Death. As the party takes all the scroll tubes from the perpetrator, carries them with them outside, and asks for everybody to evacuate, you remember, oh, wait, those are delayed scrolls, which means that they're already active, and I'm holding on to a live hand grenade. At the last possible second, you throw them and begin to run. As you do this, you race as fast as you can. You hear a loud, deafening doom. And the sky around you, your eyesight, everything goes black. Now, after that harrowing start, I would like to have our players introduce themselves, but only those who are currently not a part of that cliffhanger. Little Warrior, would you be so kind as to introduce yourself and Theron?
As you heard, my name is The Warrior, and I take with me today Thorin, Mountain Speaker Thulavi. Thulavi.
All right. Thank you again for joining us. And coming again with another lovely addition. Rose Kai Kai, would you be so kind as to introduce yourself and your Fieldbog Nerbera?
Yes, my name is Rose Kai Kai. I am a streamer here on Twitch as well. And I bring Nabera, who is a lost daughter, sort of say. I am from this lovely town. My parents are the Furbog ambassadors to this town. So I grew up within this town and decided that I wanted to explore and wanted to stay in the forest around us. So I became a ranger and told my parents, no, I don't want to get married. So, and now we're back. And my mom is thinking I'm going to marry one of my fellow companions. So I don't think so.
Moms, am I right? So, as you two are out amongst the city in order to gather supplies and take your time, since right now the 54th Vanguard is already well underway with their daily tasks, you see in the distance a large black enveloping pillar streaming from where you know the Raxbillough household to be. It towers over the entirety of El Dinamine. You see this streak go up through the clouds, piercing and spreading everything. As that happens, you start hearing the sounds of shrieks and screams coming from that direction in a wave. People start opening up their windows, opening up their doors to look outside. The moment that they see the carnage the moment that they see the column of, not carnage, column. I know the right C word. Sorry, COVID brain. The column of darkness that is shooting up through the sky. They immediately slam their doors shut. You hear shutters latching, locks turning, and braces being boarded against their doorways. As this happens, you both instinctively grab your weapons and armor, find your way in a sprint towards where your 54th Vanguard were last known to have gone to. As you make this run, you see a short tiefling girl with two very brightly colored men running in a direction. Both of them look a little haggard, and you can see right now that they are, the girl is crying, looking for someone, as she starts screaming out, "Caravan! Caravan! I need to find you! Caravan, where are you? Where are you, Caravan?" And that's where we will start our adventure today. Nerabera, Theron, you see this this girl, probably no older than 15, 16 years old, running. And as this happens, she has two what appear to be bodyguards that are trying to keep her safe. And both of them appear badly injured. So, Nerabera, Theron, what would you do?
I am going to go over. Do I recognize this girl from, or any sort of recognition from the fact of growing up here?
You've not met this girl at all. You have no idea.
I'm gonna go run over and find out what's going on, what's needed.
Okay. You walk over, both of you armed and armored. And as that happens, she looks over and is like, Are you one of the caravan? Are you one of the caravan? As she grabs onto you and she's holding on to your cloak with almost all of her might. She's very strong for her age.
That would be us. Why do you ask?
Something happened at the party. I think everybody's dead. You need to come with me as fast as you can.
Okay, lead the way.
Okay, as that happens, you watch as the bald man who was with her collapses onto the ground. You can see now that he was nursing some kind of a wound that spans almost the entirety of the right side of his back. Can I please get a medicine check from both of you? You're not exactly sure what this is. This is not a burn, and this is not some form of acid. It does look, however, like some kind of, almost like a festering has happened across his back. It is a very brutal look. So you have some choices. Now that he's fallen down, the other bodyguard does try his best to pick him up, but you can see right now that his right arm appears to be broken, and his right side appear to have the same sort of disease rendering across his right side.
One of us should probably try to get these guys to some sort of doctor or something before we can, so that way they can at least have a chance of survival.
Yeah, we need to have them go see EMP immediately.
But with the looking for the rest of the people in the rubble, should we like both go try to get them to a doctor, or should like one of us go? It's your call, really. Because I don't know which one would be better.
I think we need to both get them there, help them carry them over there, and then find out what's going on.
You got it. And then I'll try to pick up the one that's already collapsed on the ground.
Okay, you pick up the one that's collapsed on the ground. He is fairly light for your strength, so you do lift him up. You are able to get him moving. He is conscious. He looks like he's just collapsed because the pain was too great. But as you're pressing into him, the right side of him feels almost as if though his bones have been turn to jelly as you try to give a little bit of pressure, and there's no resistance from his rib cage.
Yeah, we definitely need to get these guys to a doctor or like a cleric or something like that that can do healing, because this is not good.
I agree.
Okay. You lift them. You lift him up as well as you can. The other two are behind you. Nerbera, you usher those two along as well as you can, providing just a little bit of aid as Theron books it towards the nearest priest. Can I please get investigation or perception checks from either of you, whichever you prefer, to try to figure out the best pathway to go? Nerbera, you get it at advantage, as you are from this location.
That's a nat 20.
Okay, so Theron actually passed by what he knew to be a temple of Shantea. So as you run back, you know the exact pathway to go. You're able to find shortcuts. And as you do so, you remember the doorway that you saw was open. It was. As you barrel your way in, you can see that there are now dozens of clerics that are preparing, and they all seem to be gathering as many implements and items into large satchels as they can. As you watch, as you see some which appear to be jewelers that are carrying many small pouches full of gemstones, and they are handing them to those in the most prestigious of robes. After
Sorry.
Okay. As you come in and as you start screaming help, you don't have to apologize for interrupting me, by the way. Never worry about that. So as you scream help, as you run in, you see that a couple people, it's like, over there. And they point you over to a table. As that happens, you see a couple of the acolytes place them down and begin casting on them as soon as they hit the stone. Once that happens, all three of them lay down flat. The teenage girl, however, does not want to be left alone. She says, "Please let me take you with. Take me with you, please." And then you see a small white light starting to shift, and then plants right to the center of her forehead. As that happens, she droops, and she looks much, much more calmed. There is a very tall elf that comes to your shoulder, and she says, "Madame Nerbera, I see that you're here to help. Thank you. You probably don't remember me since you were too young. I am Lady Aubergine. Nice to meet you again. I wish I could stay and talk to you, but it appears that the Raxbilloughs have suffered a calamity. We must go now. I assure you that... can you assure me that those weapons that you carry are not for show?"
Well, I can definitely assure you they're not for show. That is why I have been away. I have learned very well how to use these weapons.
Our paladins are away. Come with us.
Go.
All right, let's get over there.
As this happens, and as you start running forward, you are now beelining it as fast as you can towards the Raxbillough household. As this is happening, all of the rest of the clerics are racing as fast as they can and trying to keep up. However, since you all are seasoned adventurers, you all are definitely much, much faster. You gain probably about a good 500, 600 feet on them until eventually you reach the front gates.
Let's get in there.
As you reach the front gates, the entirety of the location appears to have been untouched. There are two things you can see. In the outside, there is all of the vegetation and all of the grass, all of the plants. They all appear to have been dried up in an instant, and they all appear dead. You notice that this is the case for at least about 300 feet in a radius around this house. You can see that the interior windows that are right over here where I am pinging have been broken. And that's all that you can see right now. There's
Can you
nobody
ping
else
those
here
again
except...
for me?
Sorry, go ahead. One more time.
Can you ping those again for me, please?
Sure. See them
Thank
here?
you.
The windows on the interior are shattered. The glass is all over the grass, which means they were shattered from the inside. What are you all going to do?
Are the gates like locked?
They're not. The gates are open.
In that case, I beeline it to the door and like bust it down.
Okay. You go straight in towards the door. You smash it. It was unlocked, but you smash it all the same because you're Theron.
That's just how I do it.
That's just how you do, man. So, as you absolutely wreck this door, you see in the interior 2 floating wisps. What are you going to do?
Since I am right by the door, I am going to aim for this one.
You're going to shoot at them?
I am.
Okay. Fire a shot.
And
Theron, you said you're going to do something too?
I'm gonna whichever one she's not shooting at, I'm gonna throw my thunder javelin at.
Okay. Nabera, are you going to fire that shot?
Yes, sorry.
Okay. 19 does hit. Roll the damage. Okay. 7 points of piercing as your arrow slinks through. And as it does fire and it does make its way in. However, the arrow seems to slow down and then just drop on the other side. But it is having a hard time holding its form. And Theron, a 17 will hit. Okay, 8 points of piercing, 13 points of lightning damage. This one completely puffs out of existence. And as that happens, you hear a loud squirming splat coming from somewhere beyond the next door. Now I need for Theron and Nabera to roll me initiative.
I rolled a 12. I forgot to hit my token.
Okay. By the way,
Aaron,
Nabera,
we may want to wait.
Wait for what?
I have a feeling if we do any damage to these, we might be actually doing damage to those that are inside.
Okay, I get what you're saying. I'll calm down with the throwing and whatnot for a tad bit.
Theron, your initiative was 6. Okay. So with that, we are going to switch over to the second party. So for that, we have 3 players who I would like to introduce before we get into the second party. Black Irish, would you be so kind as to introduce yourself and your character in a very bad place, Maresh?
Hello, my dear friends. I am Black Irish 19 here on Twitch, and this is Maresh, the water genasi fool that carried the hand grenades in the last episode. Due to my lack of knowledge on D&D.
It wasn't knowledge of D&D. It was more like, these are active and are going to go off eventually, and you're just like, oh, stuff. Totally fine. Wasn't a lack of knowledge in D&D. All right, Mad God Cthulhu. I saw you come in. Would you be so kind as to introduce yourself and Trunker?
Yes, the Mad God Cthulhu, and I shall be playing the Drunker, heavyweight ex-heavyweight champion of the BWLC. And as the darkness surrounds us, and I just see Maresh, the sorcerer with the 20 scrolls that exploded, and now it lasts bronze brawler with me. I must ready myself, for now it is not time for performance, but a time for action.
And coming in is the last member of the VWLC, Iltas. Lord Geyser, would you be so kind as to introduce the Strong Puncher?
Hi, everybody. I'm Lord Geyser 21, and this is Iltas Garaxon, the Bronze Brawler. Bronze Dragonborn monk, here to punch himself a hole.
In what? Stay tuned to find out.
I'll tell you, because this is your story too. So, as you all, as your sight starts to come back to you, you find yourself in a terrifying void space. As you look around to you, there is not a single light in the sky. There is not a single light below you, but you can clearly see, coming from beyond what appears to be a massive, pulsing, swirling void of hatred and power. Alongside of a table, sitting down and penning something which looks to be a contract, is the devil Balsheshba, just now clearing and suturing his wounds that was given to him in just a few moments earlier. Above him, you see this massive swirl of power. You can see the skeleton of some creature who you believe to be the corpse of the actual Ross Noble. A large bookcase, and surrounding that are massive pyres of blue fire. The bridge that leads towards this small plinth of what you know to be terrible evil seems to span forever behind you. But no matter how far backwards you walk, you never get any farther away from Balsheshba's domain. You have been brought to Balsheshba's domain of hell. Maresh, Iltas, Trunker. Welcome to the Nine Hells.
Oh. All right.
What are you going to do?
Well, Maresh will say...
Sorry.
What? No, you go ahead.
Because we can see Balsheshba, right?
You can see everything you currently see.
Trunker's just gonna start walking right up to him, like, puffing his chest out. And who is that but the puny little, chicken neck that I took down with my friends over here? I don't know what game you playing at, you toad-faced weirdo, but I can tell you this, if you want another round at the Drunker, I am more than willing to give you one last shot. He's gonna grip his hammer of thunderbolts and place it face down, the hammer on the ground, and just kind of just stand there, and just whisper to, Maresh, anything I should know about him, other than what we already saw?
He's a tricky one. Whatever we see might not be what's real. Keep your guard up.
Oh boy.
Iltas, I would like for you to please roll me a perception check. Maresh, what is your passive perception?
12.
Okay.
19.
Iltas, as you look over the corpse that is currently just to the north of you, you take a look at it and you notice that across its body, it's still wearing most of its jewelry. The jewels seem very well designed, and everything seems to be just perfect in its location. You notice that the center brooch that is just across its chest is actually much wider and appears almost spider-like. It almost seems like it's clenching onto the solar plexus. You can also see a bit of a reflection inside of it, as though it was some kind of a looking glass. Balsheshba walks just a step away from the desk. He cracks his knuckles, and as he does that, his fingers stay bent backwards. Says, I have been hoping that you would come and visit me in my home for quite some time. And now I actually have you here. I was honestly thinking I would just have to drink the blood straight from your stupid, stumpy arms. But instead, you came at your own volition. I am the luckiest arms dealer that has ever pseudo-lived. But thanks to you three, I'll be able to come and go to the prime material as I please. Isn't that right, my truncated friend? And Trunker, I need for you to roll me a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. I do have advantage thanks to my ring of spell turning. Just
Okay.
let me try one more time. Oh god.
You are now dominated by Balsheshba.
Oh no.
Mm.
I'll throw my inspiration card at him so he can re-roll that.
Okay.
Come on, baby. Come on. You gotta be.
Ugh.
You are still dominated by Balsheshba. As he gets closer, he says, Come here now, slave. And you move towards him. As you do so, you can hear this infernal voice going through your head, translating itself. And you can start hearing horrid words. Most of them about murder. Most of them about tearing the limbs off of your friends and feeding them to your master, Balsheshba. As Balsheshba taps you on the shoulder, he says, I have more work to do. Take care of them for me, big guy. And he sits down and goes back to work.
I see. Trunker's gonna turn back to Ellis and Rush. So, you two puny little jabronis think you can come and mess with the Trunker? How do you think I got this heavyweight belt? You think I got it by fighting weaker opponents and losing? Oh, I'm gonna warn you right now, little guys. You take a couple more steps. I'm sorry, but you're gonna be in a world of pain. And he's gonna go ahead and flex his muscles while he's saying that.
Maresh, Iltas, and Trunker, I need for you to roll me initiative.
Alrighty, let's get it started.
Jesus Christ. Oh. It's 12 for me.
Mm-hmm. All right, I'm going to organize this between parties so that I don't have to do so many switches. Iltas, Maresh, Theron, missing Trunker. Trunker, what was yours? 12?
12, yeah.
You watch as the Trunker has that wild blackness going over his eyes, and you know now that he's been dominated. The same problem that has happened with Iltas. Maresh, Iltas, the Trunker is now your enemy as he is dominated by the devil. Iltas, you're up first. What are you going to do?
Okay, first I'm going to drink my potion of speed,
You are now hasted.
and then we're gonna play a little game of let's go around this crap, and I'm gonna run up around the rock, and I'm coming right up to Balsheshba.
Okay. Before you do so, I want for you to roll me a perception check at disadvantage.
Disadvantage. Seven.
As you pass by the massive purple crystal, you see what appear to be at least half a dozen faces, all of them very familiar. All of them so familiar that you swear you could have remembered them from just moments ago. But you don't recognize any of them because all that you can think about is punching the crap out of this devil. So, you are now right next to Balsheshba as he continues to write without a care in the world.
Well, I am going to use my Draconic strike, and I'm going to do my first 2 attacks. And that'll be lightning damage.
Both
for
of
what it's
them,
worth.
both of them miss as both of your fists just they land on top of Balsheshba's head, but he doesn't flinch. He looks back and he says, "Oh, children, 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 children. Daddy's working."
And for my hasted attack, I am going to breathe lightning on him.
Okay. Dexterity 14 save. And that is not a magic ability, right?
That one is my
Racial ability as a dragonborn.
yeah, that's my racial ability as Dragonborn.
12. So he takes 5 points of lightning damage.
That was
Okay.
one of my favorite moves.
Oh, yeah. And he's got to make a con save of 10. He makes it. And he maintains concentration.
And that'll end my turn.
Okay. Trunker, it is now your turn. You just watched as Iltas tried to punch your boss. What are you going to do?
Hold on, little one. You think you can attack him before attacking me? and I'm going to run up on top of the table, and then go at him with my drop my maul right before I land, and say, I don't even need this to be true, and drop him with a attack with a unarmed strike.
Okay.
1 second. Where's my unarmed strike? Oh my god, I have so many.
Okay, remember, guys, you gotta make this quick because this could end in a TPK if you guys aren't fast enough.
Gotcha.
This is
So
time.
I'm gonna do.
Why was that 3 times rolled?
Oh, super advantage. This is 17.
17. Iltos does 17 hit your armor class?
No.
Okay. So you do not take 11 points. Trunker?
And he's going to go ahead and attack him one more time. With
14?
another, but
Nope.
Okay. Both attacks miss.
that ends my turn.
Okay. As a legendary action, he is going to use Warlord's Command. Trunker, you make another attack at advantage.
Oh.
And he says, pick up the hammer.
I'll pick up the hammer and attack him with the hammer of thunderbolts. Oh no.
Roll again. See if it hits, or see if it crits. Okay, roll the damage. 10 points of lightning damage.
Oh, and it doesn't do lightning damage because I'm not attuned to it. It just gives me the +1.
Okay. So it's 10 points of bludgeoning damage then.
Yeah.
Iltas, that will reduce your total dexterity score by 3. And you'll take 10 points of damage for that. You see Balsheshba continue to write, and as he does, you see the blood that's all caressing down the page, and he looks at you in the eyes and says, "Good boy." Maresh, it's now your turn.
Alright, I'm going to call out to Balsheshba. If you think we're just going to sit here and let you have your way, you're dead wrong. And at 6th level, I am casting Summon Draconic Spirit.
Okay. Summoning a Draconic Spirit.
Its armor class is 20 with 60 HP.
Okay. Here's your Draconic Spirit.
And it can make 3 attacks since I summoned it at level 6. Plus its breath attack. So the first one is going towards Balsheshba.
Okay.
I think it's this one.
6. That's damage. So you have to roll your spell attack roll for the attack roll. So it's a spell attack for the attack roll, and then the d6 plus 4. Okay, 28 hits. Are the Draconic Spirits attacks magic?
They no, they are just melee.
Okay. You know, hang on a sec.
Oh, also it's a gem dragon.
Dope. Okay, do me a favor. Roll
Yes.
me a d20. Are you going to roll higher or lower than me?
I'm gonna say lower.
Because there's a couple ways that I can interpret the spell. Okay. You know what? There's no point. The interpretation of the spell to me says that because it's a summoned creature made of magic, then it's a magic attack. So this would hit. The d6 plus 4 is 2 plus 4, so that's 6 points of damage. What is your alignment?
Chaotic good.
And what is the Draconic Spirit's attack? Is that piercing, slashing, bludgeoning?
It is. It doesn't say.
What do you want it to be?
Let's go slashing. It's a claw attack. That makes sense.
Okay, it rakes across Balsheshba's body, and you watch as it actually does draw blood. Balsheshba needs to roll another con save. He keeps it.
All right, and here comes his second attack.
Maresh, it does say that it is piercing damage.
Oh, did it? I must
Yeah, plus levels, piercing damage.
Where?
Right next to the 1d6 plus 4 plus levels, piercing damage.
Okay.
Okay.
There's the second attack.
23
Damage.
hits.
Another 6. Wow. And third attack.
That hits. As you see this creature taking his claws and slack, and slapping and slashing in, you're watching as Balsheshba is actually being rocked by each one of these hits.
And that's also 2 more con saves since both of those hit.
Oh, yeah. But he will make both.
Of course he does. Then it will use its breath attack. And it says I can choose the damage type based on its resistances for whatever type of dragon I called it.
Okay.
It's a gem dragon. So I will make it
What kind of gem dragon?
amethyst, I guess.
Okay.
And I will make the damage psychic.
Okay, that's an amethyst dragon's breath, yeah.
It's a DC of my spell save DC, so that's a 19.
Okay, Trunker,
save.
you're rolling this as well.
It's a what type of DC?
Dexterity.
Dex save.
19.
Balsheshba fails. Roll the damage. 7. Yep. Okay.
And that will be it for my turn.
And since I get hit, do I make a saving throw then?
Yes, you make a saving throw.
Wisdom, come on, baby, come on, baby.
Natural 20, you are no longer dominated.
Let's go.
Oh, you made
Nice.
a bad move.
As-
Balsheshba.
As that's happening, you're watching as he's now badly damaged by your Draconic Spirit. And as that happens, he looks back to you and... That's it. Gloves are off this time, boys. I've had enough. And as that happens, you watch as Balsheshba changes entirely. His body shifts and the rest of his form begins to grow wildly. And as it does, he grows into this massive, grotesque, bat-like gargoyle. And he lands just on the corner, ready to fight. He's going to look down at all of you. And he is going to cast Destructive Wave at 5th level. I need for everybody to roll me a con save. Okay,
Just these 3 or all of us?
just those 3.
Okay.
Iltas, you take 9 points of thunder damage and 24 points of necrotic damage. Maresh, you take half of both. Drunker, you take half of both. Iltas, you are knocked prone.
4, 12,
How much
16.
damage was that?
Half of 9 and half of 24.
Down or up?
Rounded down. Always rounded down. And now we are going to switch our gaze back to Nerbera and Theron. As this is all happening, you're hearing a roar coming from deeper inside of the house. You're listening to the sounds of many voices starting to scream out in pain and agony. And you're watching each one of those wisps turn dark black. Nerbera, you're up first. Or no, I'm sorry, the wisp is up first. The wisp is going to come directly up to Theron. And it is going to try and attack you twice. 5 and 15 to hit. Do either of those hit your armor class?
No, sorry.
All right. That is its turn. It's barely holding its form together, but it pulses this inky blackness in front of you. Nerbera, it's now your turn.
I was going to throw in, reach into the bag of tricks and 20 feet in front of me, throw one in.
Okay.
Gonna go right here.
It's your action to do so. What are you throwing?
It's a jackal.
Okay. I may not have a jackal, but I probably have a dog. You're going to get a blink dog.
Where?
Okay. You now have full control of the jackal. I don't know its hit points. I don't know anything else about it. And it's just chilling there.
Okay.
But it is... Its hackles are raised, and it's looking towards the door towards your north.
Okay. Going to say I'm gonna order it to attack.
Okay. It turns its head. It leaps towards this creature, and go ahead and make a melee attack using the Jackal's stat block at advantage. All right. 13 is going to miss, unfortunately.
Okay.
All right. That's your action and bonus action. Do you want to move?
No, I'm gonna stay put.
Okay. Theron, it's now your turn.
I'm going to hit it with my battle axe.
Okay. Roll an attack. 18 hits. Roll the damage. 9 points of slashing. This creature explodes in front of you.
Boom, boom.
Okay. That's one attack. You still have movement, and you can potentially attack again. What do you want to do? Let's go. Hurry up. If you're saying anything, you're muted.
I'm gonna move. I'm just gonna move up to there.
You all hear the screaming getting louder from inside. Okay, you move up to there. That is that. We are now going to switch over to the other party. As the other party is in the midst of this harrowing battle with Balsheshba. Iltas, it's now your turn.
I'm going to slide here. Am I level with him there, or?
Yeah, should be able to engage with him.
Okay. Character sheet. All right. I am going to use my Draconic Strike. Again, it'll be lightning damage.
Okay.
1, 2,
Nice. Natural 20, 13.
extra attack.
26 hits.
Bonus action, Fury of Blows.
Okay.
Again, with the Draconic Strike.
Okay. Four of
And
them
then-
make connection.
4 of them make connection.
Yeah, 4 of those hits make a connection. Before you continue, let me just add these all up.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead. What are you going to do?
Then I'm going to Action Surge.
Awesome.
I'm going to Draconic Strike him again.
Okay.
And then he's going to get another Face Full of Lightning.
Okay. So with your action surge, you just get another attack. So the 11 wouldn't have hit anyway, but that would just give you another attack action. Wouldn't give you like a full turn's worth. So you couldn't use a hasted attack for that. Does that make sense?
The Dragon's Breath I can use to replace 1 attack of my 2 attacks for my attack action.
Oh, that's dope. Okay. My mistake. So that dexterity save will land. He does not make it, so he takes 12 points of lightning damage. And you all are putting some dents into him now.
And Action Surge... The Action Surge doesn't give another bonus action, correct?
No, it does not.
Okay.
Are you going to move?
Nope. I'm going to stay right there.
Okay. It's going to use a legendary action to use chromatic resistance against lightning. It is now resistant to all lightning attacks. Trunker.
First thing I'm going to do is drink my Weaver Might,
Okay.
so I can recover 8 points of HP for every round.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to use my wing. I'm going to go move over here, quick 5 feet, and I'm going to use Cat's Grace to increase his dexterity score by 4 for 1 minute.
Okay.
I'm going to stop in the back and says, "You can do better! Gather!" And then I'm going to move 5, 10, 15, 20 behind him so he's flanking. Or is it over here? Or does it have to be...
You're not able to go beyond that point because everything else beyond that is just void.
Hmm.
The creature is floating in space, but gravity still affects you here.
Even with the wing boots.
Oh, I forgot you had wing boots. Yes, you could fly out there. I apologize.
Because I want to be flanking with Ultas.
Is it a bonus action to activate it?
No, just use it for my movement. I have a flying speed.
The wing boots don't have an activation? I think the wing boots have an activation. It's either bonus action or action. I could be wrong.
It's bonus action to activate them.
I just said I have a flying speed equal to my walking speed. I can use it for up to 4 hours. I just have to. I can only fly for a minimum of 1 minute.
Okay, I must be thinking about old Pathfinder rules then. That's my fault. All right. Okay, so now you're on the other side of this creature.
And I use bonus action for Weaver Might. Does that activate my turn or?
It's the start of your next turn.
And my turn.
Okay, Maresh, it's now your turn. You're going to Crown of Stars? You're muted, by the way, if you didn't know.
Oh, whoops, my. Yes, casting Crown of Stars.
Okay, and that's 9? 1, 2,
7, like the Big
7.
Dipper.
Okay. You now have 6, because I guess you're firing 1, is that right?
Yes.
And it's a natural 1, unfortunately, so it is going to miss.
Very sad. But I'm going to then use the what's it called? Meta Magic Quicken spell to cast a cantrip
Okay,
and send a trio of Eldritch Blasts at Balsheshba.
go for it.
3.
16, 18, and 25. The 18 and 25 will hit, so that is 15 points of damage onto the
Fantastic.
transformed Balsheshba. Okay, are you going to move?
I will. I will move behind this crystal, and then I will free action tell my dragon to move to the side of Balsheshba and start attacking.
You can do that as a free action?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And can your dragon fly?
Yes, he can.
Okay. Maresh, so you don't have to roll me a perception check since you are right next to this crystal as this happens. You see the image of all of the party guests that you were once around. Each one of them looks as though they have been dead for hours. You see each one of their mouths dropped wide, their eyes glazed over, their tongues hanging out. And you also notice that you see your friends. You see Iltus. You see the Trunker. You see Cannonbolt. And in the glistening brooch that you see currently on one of the people before you, you can see the reflection of yourself as you're all piled together in this morbid and macabre tree-like formation.
Interesting. Well, now my dragon will start attacking. Here comes the first attack.
Okay. 19 hits.
And then that. Did that go through?
Mm-hmm.
All right, and here's the second attack.
17 does not hit.
All right. Third attack.
27 hits.
Here comes the damage.
Okay. You're noticing
And
as
then-
the claws dig into this creature, it is passing through easily.
And then it will be its breath attack next.
Okay.
DC 19 dex save.
Think. The breath attack, what's the size of the cone?
30 foot.
Trunker, I need for you to roll me a dexterity saving throw as well. You're just on the outside of that. 19, he makes it, so he takes half.
I don't. I take 6.
It's a low number,
Okay.
so he's only going to take 2 points of psychic. Okay.
On save.
And that will be it for my turn.
Okay.
11.
After your turn, he is going to use a he's going to use his last legendary action. I'm sorry, he's going to use a legendary action to try and attack the Trunker. 27 hit.
Yep.
12 points of slashing, 1 point of force damage.
Okay.
Is Cat's Grace a concentration spell?
Yes. Make it, but
Okay, you maintain concentration. We shift over to the other party. Nerbera, it's your turn.
Okay, I I'm going to have the jackal just move in as well as I'm gonna move in.
Okay.
My bonus action is to have him move and follow.
Okay.
And my action, I'm going to check this door.
The door is unlocked.
And we're gonna go ahead and move in.
Okay. As you move in, you see 2 other wisps that are there as well. As you move in, you see them spray 4 barbs in your direction. What's your armor class?
21.
Okay, none of them will hit. But they are going to move ahead and try to bar your path. All right, Theron, it's your turn. Theron, you're muted.
Sorry. I forgot I muted myself. I'm gonna attack this one
Okay.
with a bonk with my battle axe and a bonk with the Hell Knight Partisan. 'Cause I remember now I have 2 hits.
Do you have a shield?
Oh yeah, I do.
You can only use one of those weapons.
Okay, in that case, I'll use a battle axe.
Okay, roll the battle axe attack. Roll the damage for the battle axe first. Okay, 12 points of damage. This one that's in front of you explodes.
Boom.
Okay, so if you wish to attack again, you must use the battle axe.
Okay, I'll do that in that case. And I'll attack the other one.
Okay, 24 hits. Roll the damage. 13. And this one explodes.
Boom, boom.
There is a door to your left, a door to the north, and a door to the east. So west, east, and north. You still have movement. You
Which
still
way
have
do
a
you
bonus
wanna go?
action. If you ask and expect an answer, that's a bonus action. Are you okay with that?
Yes.
Okay. Ibera?
Sorry. Can you repeat the question? Sorry, Theron.
Which door do you want to go through? Because we have 3 options.
Go this way. We'll go to the one to our right.
Okay, let's do it then.
Still have movement.
And I once again, with the Theron way, I bust down the door.
Okay. As you do so, you see a grotesque tree-like formation with many different bodies stacked upon each other. You see that there are even some of the people that are a part of your caravan that are jammed within this horrid, grotesque tree-like structure. And you watch as there's this purple glow and a purple mist that permeates all of them. Fallen to the ground, however, is another purple tiefling with pink hair. As you enter the room and as you enter this area, a tiefling from the other side lands flat next to another one of the floating wisps. And that is your turn. We go to the other party. Iltas.
I am going to again attack with the Draconic Strike, but this time it's going to be cold damage.
Okay.
1, 2. How do I use Stunning Strike?
You just tell me. And
I
I
want to
need-
use Stunning Strike.
I need to know what your con save is for that.
Features, traits.
Should be the con save DC.
Then I believe it would be 14.
Oh, sorry. That was a check. That was a check. This needs to be. It's actually a +9. So what I roll? It's a 14 plus 9. So the stun does not go off, and your key point is spent. But the 22 does hit. 13 does not.
I will then use Fury of Blows to do it again.
Okay. And you could try to
You're
stun on
adding-
each one of these as well.
You're adding the +4 to dexterity that I'm adding to you, right?
+4 to Dexterity.
He casts Cat's Grace on you.
Oh, I think I missed that at some point.
That's fine. That's a +2 to damage and a +2 to hit. So we'll just do that in our heads. A 24 to hit and a 20 to hit. They both hit. That's 8 points of damage and 7 points of damage, which is a total of 15. You're still hasted.
And for the hasted attack, I am going to use Breath of the Dragon and shoot a line of cold at him.
What's the line?
Would be straight. Oop, that's not the arrow. Arrow. Be straight.
Okay, just making sure. I just want the Trunker to keep getting hit by all of his friends' breath attacks. Seems like a really fun, like, ongoing joke. All right, so he is going to save. He's only going to take 2 points of damage from that.
And that will end my turn.
Okay. Iltas, I want for you to roll me a perception check.
Perception. 13.
Okay. Something was happening to him. You were punching and smacking him mostly on the right side and on the back. But you saw that his left side was starting to crumble. So as you're facing him, like everything towards the northwest of the actual character token, you started seeing that begin to crumble a little bit. And now you're starting to see crack marks appear all over his wings. You weren't hitting there, but you actually are seeing he's starting to take some damage. So it's something that you are not causing, but he is being affected by it. All right, Trunker, it's now your turn.
So I'm going to move over here so I can get out of the way.
Okay.
Call out to Mirage. Careful with that. And I'm going to grab my horn of Valhalla and I'm going to give it a little toot.
Okay.
And I'll put that in the DC. So
He
I'll
is
go.
he is going to use all of his legendary actions to use magic feedback. I need for you to roll me a d20. If it's 15 or above, nothing bad happens. If it's a natural 20, the magic works. If it's 14 or below, the item is unusable for 1 minute.
Jesus, okay.
Hey, let's go.
So nothing happens.
Oh.
But your action is used up.
That's a bonus action. Oh wait, no, it's an action. Never mind.
It's an action.
And that means I like that it's spent. Or
I'm sorry?
because it's a once a day thing. Does that mean it's spent for the rest of the day, or just for that I couldn't do it?
Actually, you couldn't do it anyway because you tried using it in the last session. So it says you can't use it again until 7 days have passed.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought it was. Okay, never mind. It's that new session.
No
I'm
worries.
so sorry about.
New magic item, who dis? It happens.
Okay.
I will let you resend. I will let you resend that, but I'm also resending my legendary actions.
Yeah, yeah. I'm going to just go ahead and. Oh my god, I had everything in mind. I'll use bonus action to use Bardic Inspiration, and I'm gonna call out to Idlis, and yell out, Idlis, you have the strength in you! And after I use my Bardic Inspiration, I'm gonna go ahead and whack the hell out of this guy using
Okay.
my Hammer of Thunderbolts. Come on, come on. Why is there 2? I must have had it.
I don't know. Well, it would be an advantage anyway because it's the Draconic spirits on the other side. So 22. 13 points of damage.
Okay, I'm gonna roll it. I'm gonna use my what's it called? My combat inspiration to make a goading attack, screaming, "Is this what you all? What is this all you have, Balsheshba? Is this what the power of a demon has to offer?" That's an extra 1d8 of damage.
Okay. 2 points of damage. And
Then
what
he has
is
to make a save.
which one?
A wisdom saving throw of 16.
11. He doesn't.
So he has disadvantage on any attack rolls against someone other than me. I also gain 1d8 points of health from the Weaver Might.
4 points of
plus
healing.
4. That's my first attack. I'll use my second attack to go ahead and attack him again. At advantage.
Okay, that hits for 9 points of damage.
And did he say he didn't save? And can I use that for can I make a trip attack?
If you have the superiority dice, then well, he's flying. Yes,
Oh, I wouldn't be able to, would I?
you could try.
Rip someone who's flying.
Hell, just for the extra damage, I'll try and aim for his legs.
Okay.
Let's see you stand up with this. And it's another DC 16. I believe it's a strength saving throw.
29.
Okay.
But it takes the extra 3 points of damage.
Okay. And I'm just gonna use
already-
action surge
Okay.
and just scream out, "But wait, there's more!" This is what happens when you mess with the Drunker.
20. 8 points of damage.
And I'll attack him 2 more times.
Okay. Those will miss.
And I end my turn over here.
Okay. He is going to use a legendary action to attack you. 25 to hit.
Yeah, it's
10 points of slashing damage, 3 points of force damage. Maresh, it's now your turn.
All right. How tall is this formation thing in front of me? Can I still see Balsheshba?
Not from above it. The formation is about 13, 14 feet high.
All right. In that case, I will do a little sidestep to get some line of sight on him, and we will shoot another one of my stars at him.
Okay, I need for you to roll me a wisdom saving throw, as seeing your dead body and the dead bodies of your friends is starting to warp your mind.
Why didn't that click?
Wisdom save?
Okay, there they go. They were delayed for some reason. 17.
That's not going to be enough. Wait, hang on. I want to triple check what his DC is. It's not going to be enough.
Okay, what happens?
You are frightened. You cannot actively move towards Balsheshba, and any attacks you make against Balsheshba are at disadvantage.
Okay. So, do you want me to re-roll that spell attack with disadvantage, or just roll once more?
I'll just roll once more.
All right.
A 16 is not going to hit. Your other bolt will miss.
Unfortunate. Then bonus action, apply a Weaver Might. Get myself a little bit of healing here.
Okay, Weaver Mites have started. The Weaver Mites don't begin until the start of your next turn.
Okay.
Got to give them time to work.
Okay. And then free action, tell my dragon to start attacking again.
Okay, at advantage.
Here comes the first.
Hits.
Fantastic. Here comes the second.
Hits.
Fantastic. And here comes the third.
Hits.
Delightful.
Nice.
And then a breath attack once more. DC 19 Dex.
Trunker, you save as well.
Is it still?
Yeah, it's 30 foot.
Oh, damn it.
16.
Dexterity?
Yes.
Yep.
Did I make it?
You did not.
No.
Okay, 7 points of psychic.
7 points of damage.
Okay, he's starting to look a little bloody now.
And then I will simply move back this way. And that will be my turn.
Okay. It is now Balsheshba's turn. Balsheshba is going to cast the spell Destructive Wave again in the very center, targeting all of you, including himself. I need everybody to roll me a con save.
Oh,
Maresh, you take half. The rest of you take the full amount. 15 points of thunder damage and 16 points of necrotic damage. You look upon him as he casts this massive explosion right in front of him. And as that happens, you watch as the magic goes over him, but there's some sort of odd shielding that glows bright red. And you can see that there is something happening within his chest that is preventing any damage from happening to him from this spell. Those of you who saved, which is Maresh, you take half of that damage, so 7 and 8. Okay, we go back to the other team. The spirits that see you all begin to rush at Theron. As you watch as all of these small blobs begin to dash in your direction, you are seemingly overwhelmed. You are going to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 attacks against you.
Nice.
So what is your AC? Theron, what is your AC?
22, sorry.
Okay. Natural 20. Remember that. I lost count.
One sec. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
14 points of piercing. And 11 points of piercing damage. And I need 2 con saves from you, please. A healing yodel for Iltis. 4.
What did I roll again?
2
2
con
okay.
saves, please.
Yeah.
Your maximum HP reduces by 11.
11, so it is.
All right.
Hold on a sec.
You take 24 damage in total, but your maximum HP reduces by 11. Narbera, it's now your turn.
Okay, I am going to move in to right behind Theron, and I am going to bonus action command Minday in to here
Okay.
and to attack these two. And on my action, I'm going to throw my black dragon claw daggers because I get 2 attacks per action
Okay.
towards the 2 here. And Minday is going to do a bite attack against one of the 2.
Got it. Okay.
Shouldn't have Minday here.
Roll me attacks, please.
Okay. 1, 2.
They both hit. Roll me the damage. 7, 6. Okay. This one, poof. And this one, poof, explodes. Not for Minday. That's a miss.
Oh, I think that's damage.
It isn't. That's a d20, so that's to
okay.
attack. Okay, so that one's going to miss. But as those 2 dissipate, you watch as this noble and this noble both fall off of this tree-like structure. And they sort of slough to the ground. All right, that is your action, bonus action, and your movement. So that is your turn. Theron, it's now your turn.
I'm going to attack with my battle axe. I'm
Okay.
going to do a tad bit of a bonk
22
on
hits.
this dude.
You got it. Okay, this one explodes.
And I'm going to move over to here and hit this one as well.
Okay. That one hits. This one takes a good smack, but is still up.
Okay, and then I'm going to use Action Surge.
Okay.
I point my shield at wait, I move up actually, and then I point my shield at this one and do the little I forgot what it did to make the magic missile go. And then I fire it at this one. I forgot what the
That's fine.
little sound the dude made.
Pew pew.
Oh yeah, I just go pew pew pew.
So you're firing 3 bolts. Roll 3d4.
No wait, two because I can do 2 attacks.
Using an action, so you can use up to 6 because you have 6 charges on the shield. And
In
you
that
said
case, I will use 3.
okay. You said pew pew pew, so I was assuming you're using 3. Okay, go ahead and roll 3d4 and add 3. So
13.
13. 3 of those bolts come and this thing explodes. Okay, that is your action surge, a little bit of movement. Bonus action?
Nope.
Okay, we move on to the next party. Iltus, it is now your turn.
All right. First things first. Again, 2 Draconic strikes.
Okay. The second one will hit.
The
What is the element?
cold.
Okay.
And healing yodel.
A second healing yodel.
Yep.
3.
Bonus action. I am going to drink a potion.
Okay. What's the potion?
Just a regular healing potion.
2d4 plus 2. Seven.
And bonus attack, I will punch him again with a cold Draconic strike.
Okay, go for it. Natural 20.
Let's go.
Okay, so 15 points of cold damage. Nice.
Nice.
He's still only bloody, guys. All right, Iltas, is that your whole turn? Iltas? You're going to move?
Sorry, I'm good.
Okay, Trunker, you're up.
I gotta change my
So-
keybinds.
No
For
worries.
my action, for my bonus action, I'm going to use second wind,
Okay.
which lets me recover how much?
1d10 plus your fighter level.
Oh, okay. So 1d10. Okay. Which is 5, so 8.
Hey, that's not nothing. And your Weaver Mites, don't forget.
Plus my Weaver Might. And I'm going to attack him again. At advantage.
Mhm.
Oh, advantage, right. And once again, after I hit him, also gonna be if I hit him. Yep. Using my D8 to also do a goading attack again.
23 hits. Another goading attack. Got it.
DC 16. Wisdom throw.
1 6 plus 6. That's 22. Okay. Wisdom. Nope. Wrong monster. My bad. Oh, nothing sent, so never mind. 25. He saves.
You dare ignore me, the Trunker, you lizard neck creature!
As that happens,
And
his
I'm attacking.
claw backs up, and you can tell it's getting ready to strike you. All right, 25 will hit. 9 points of bludgeoning.
Goading attack. That's
Okay.
another D8 to it. Oh, damn it.
He saves.
And for my movements, I'm gonna move 5, 15 over here on land. Or over here. And I'm just gonna whisper to Itlas and just say, "It's been An honor, my friend. And he ends his turn.
Okay. He's going to use a legendary action, and he is going to make a claw attack against you. It's a natural 20.
No, I'm gonna use my inspiration. Come to me. Absolutely not.
Has a 12 hit?
Nope.
Oh, clutch move by Maresh.
Oh, that would have been just. Oh god, that would have killed me.
But that would have been so poetic. Ah! That's fine. That's fine. That's fine. That's why I made this thing.
Oh my god. Oh god, right.
Okay, Maresh, it's your turn.
That's what I was saving my card for.
Oh.
All right. We're gonna do a little sidestep here, get line of sight on him again,
Okay.
and shoot out another moat.
Okay.
Still feared, so at disadvantage.
Mhm.
But please work.
Natural 1. Sorry, bud.
God, none of these are hitting today.
Sorry, buddy. Okay. So that's your action, is that right?
No, it's actually a bonus action to send a moat.
Sweet.
So now we are going to use a new spell I picked up today. Wither and Bloom.
What does that do?
It deals damage while also healing someone within the circle.
Okay, and this is a 5th level spell?
Yes.
Okay. You watch as this red energy encompasses him entirely, and it seems like this has no effect on him. But if this heals, does it has to do? Can you send the spell to the VTT? I've not heard this one before.
Yes, it's with the new book.
Death and life. Gonna have as much limited vegetation. In addition, creature of your choice in that area can spend and roll one of its unspent hit dice. So one of its unspent hit dice. One creature of your choice. Who do you want to roll the unspent hit dice?
We're gonna give it to Iltas.
Okay, Iltas. You can regain your roll plus Maresh's spellcasting ability modifier, which is Charisma.
It's +3.
So do I roll just any hit dice?
You can roll any hit dice that you have unspent, which should be all of them.
So it's either a D10 or a D8, correct?
Wait, for each slot above second, and the number of hit dice that can be spent added to the healing roll increases by 1 for each slot above second. So you can roll 5 hit dice.
Oh.
So that goes by which, the HP dice I roll, right?
Correct.
Yep.
So it's based on the level that you've taken. If you've taken fighter, they're D10. If you've taken monk, they're D8.
I will roll 2 D10 and 3 D8.
Go for it. It's 9.
2 D10 and 3 D8.
16, 25, 28 points of healing. Wow.
Jesus.
That's a spell.
And then
Sweet.
free action, we will have our Draconic spirits move back here behind him to get that flanking going again
Mm-hmm.
and start attacking.
Okay, go for it.
Here's the first one.
23 hits.
And here's the damage.
9. Okay.
Here's the second one.
16 will miss.
Unfortunate. Here's the third one.
29 hits.
All right. And here's the damage.
Okay.
And I will not use Dragon's Breath this turn.
Oh my god.
Okay. I was about to say, it's like you keep lining up just so that your friends can get hit by Dragon's Breath. I thought this was an ongoing joke.
And I will move back into my cover of the crystal containing my body, question mark?
Okay, Trunker, you get a D3. Or sorry, you get 3 points of healing.
Oh, also I forgot to do
Awesome.
Do I re-roll the Weaver Might every turn, or do I use the one?
You reroll the Weaver Might at the beginning of each of your turns, for however long the potion lasts. It's going to use its last legendary action before the start of its turn to cast Chromatic Orb against Iltas. It's firing fire damage.
That will hit.
7 points of fire damage. Okay. It is now.
Covered that one.
It is now Balsheshba's turn. As Balsheshba looks at the rest of you, he says,
That's it. Gloves are off. To say something that you say.
and he is going to raise up his claws. One strike against the Trunker, one strike against Iltus, another strike against Iltus, another strike, and a Chromatic Orb sent towards the Draconic Spirit, 14 to hit.
14 will not hit.
Okay, Trunker. Go ahead, Iltus.
Neither of those hit me.
Okay. 26 to hit the Trunker. That's 14 points slashing, 1 point of force.
I thought you said you'll take the gloves off.
He said, I know I want to savor this. And he is casting Staggering Smite on his claws.
Staggering Smite. Never heard that one before.
That is the end of his turn. We go to the other party. The moats all begin to charge at Theron and at Minde. 2 are going to attack Minde. So 4 attacks against Minde, 2 against Theron. One moment. 23, 13, 23. What is Minde's armor class?
Then armor class is 18.
Okay, so only the 23s are going to hit, but that is 14 plus 12, so 26 points of piercing damage. And I need for Minde to make 2 Constitution saving throws.
Okay, she doesn't have one listed for Constitution.
Then just roll the con score.
You said 2 of them?
2 of them, yes. She was hit twice. Minde loses 14 total hit points as their body becomes welted and poisoned with this horrid pestilence of boils and grossness that I don't like to talk about. Bah. Nerbera, it's now your turn.
Okay, I am going to take 2 shots with my bow.
Okay.
One at these by Minde.
Okay.
So 1 shot to one shot to the other.
Okay, 26 and 23. They both hit. 9 and 1, 4 and 2. Okay, the one by Minde. Are you doing top to bottom or bottom to top?
Bottom.
Okay, the one to the top explodes. The one to the bottom, however, maintains. It is not destroyed. So the bonus
and
action.
My bonus action is Minde to bite.
Okay, did I see another healing yodel come through?
Yep, another one.
1. Okay, Minde, go ahead and make your attack.
actually 15 because it's +4. Because it's plus my proficiency bonus. And
20,
it doesn't look like that
20
it is.
plus your proficiency bonus, or 20 plus a different skill and then proficiency?
Attack is +3 plus proficiency bonus to hit.
So it's 15?
Yes.
Okay, that does hit. Roll
And
damage.
it's the same 1d6 plus the proficiency bonus, which is 4, so 8 damage.
It explodes.
And movement, I'm going to step in behind Mende.
Okay. As that happens, you watch as the one on the backside rolls off and rolls across the table. Okay, Theron, it's now your turn.
I'm going to attack the one that's near me with my battle axe.
Go for it. 14 will hit.
Then, as question.
Mm-hmm.
As I do this, can I shout, "Die, you wretched creature," and just bonk?
Absolutely.
I'm gonna do that again. I swing my battle axe. I go, "Die, wretched beast!"
And it takes up another bonk. Roll again. $25 does hit. Roll damage.
And then I said, "Die!"
On the second one, this one just feels better. So as you slap it down, you listen to it as it makes like a very, very nice.
Were you controlling the damage to Mende?
I did that, yes.
Okay, because her hit points is 55.
No, that's reduced by.
It's the max.
It's reduced by 12.
Okay.
It failed. It failed their Constitution saving throw. Remember?
Oh, okay.
And I'm gonna use my bonus action to use Second Wind, which is once per short rest, you can use a bonus action to regain 1d10 plus 2 HP.
Yep. Go for it. Okay, you get 3 hit points restored. But every little bit helps. You can see that
I was about
everybody.
to say,
You can
that's
see that
better than nothing.
exactly. You can see everybody now seems to be wrapped up in this odd tree-like formation, and you can see that everybody is held together in this weird purplish energy. But the more you keep eliminating these wisps, the more they keep ripping apart. And it seems like those who are on the ground, although badly injured, some of them you see are still breathing. So Theron, you want to move? Would you like to move? Sorry.
Yeah, I'm gonna move over to the tree.
Okay. We now move over to the. Wait a second. Did I skip? No, Nabera had her turn. We now move over to the other party. Iltas, it's now your turn.
All right. I don't know what verse.
Remember, you have a bardic inspiration that can be used for attack rolls and damage too.
Not to damage.
Oh, because the twinkle is a.
Are you a College of Swords?
Oh wait, is it? No, it's he has it for it's combat inspiration because he's College of Valor.
College of Valor. That's the one. Sorry. Okay, then yes, you can.
Oh,
My apologies.
like I said, I'm not sure what verse we're on, but let's do this again. So, the Draconic Strike. Draconic Strike.
Hits. Natural 20.
Uh,
Yes.
for
Actually, you would be. This would be at advantage because the Draconic Spirit is on the direct other side of you. So this first attack is a natural 20.
okay.
You're still doing cold damage?
Yes.
Stunning
Okay.
strike.
Oh, and I'll try the stunning strike on that one.
Okay.
That's
19.
you pass that one.
Okay. You can make your other attacks at advantage.
Second attack.
21 does hit.
Bonus action, Fury of Blows.
Okay. Both of those will hit for 19 points.
And extra attack. We're gonna use the Breath of the Dragon and shoot a line of cold just off to the left of the Draconic Spirit so I don't hit it.
Okay. 22. 2 points of cold damage. Okay. He's now looking pretty rough. You guys are getting there. It's a long fight. That's why I said this is time, so be careful. All right, Iltas, that is action, hasted action, and bonus action. Do you want to move?
No, I do not.
It's going to use one of its legendary actions to make an attack against the Draconic Spirit. It's a natural 20. And it's using the Staggering Smite as well. Oh, no. Oh, damn it. I went to the Staggering Smite page. So it is going to do 8d6 psychic damage. And since it is a gem dragon, I believe you have resistance to that, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Okay, so you'll take half of this damage. Make a wisdom saving throw. You have failed. So you have disadvantage on attack rolls and ability checks, and you cannot take reactions until the end of your next turn.
Okay.
So
And that's 11 plus 25 damage? 24 damage altogether?
for the crit,
Oh, forgetting.
14, 17, 26, 37 points of damage. And you have disadvantage on all attacks in your next turn.
Okay, so that's 23 HP.
Yep. I've added it on your token as well, so you can click on it and see what it is.
Nice.
Okay, Trunker, it's now your turn.
So I want to check because all those rolls I was making was for the Cat's Grace concentration. I'm not sure how much I should have been doing. Sorry, I've been.
Oh, I totally forgot about that. So those attacks that Iltas landed actually did more damage.
Actually, I have it added into my sheet, so it's all figured in.
Oh, that's all figured in now? Thank you very much for doing
Yeah.
that. I appreciate that.
That's why I was rolling all those concentration saves to see if all of them were above 10. Just want to make sure. Do I still have it or did I lose it?
You still have it, I think. Right?
Okay. Yeah, because it's 1 minute with concentration. Let me-
Okay.
Yeah. Up to 1 minute. Okay, yeah. Alright. So, Trunker is gonna look over to Outlast and says, I know I've always been a bit selfish. And this seems like the perfect time to heal myself. I do have cure wounds, but no matter what happens, gotta give him a show, right? And I am going to go ahead. Oh god, I'm gonna regret this. And attack with Hammer of Thunderbolts.
Okay. 27 hits for 7 points of bludgeoning. Also, make
And
sure
I'm
you
gonna
roll
do-
your d8 for the Weaver Mites.
Oh yeah, that's right. 1d8. 1d8. 3. That's something.
It's always something.
And I'm gonna roll again with a hammer of thunderbolts. Gotta give him a show, alright?
Ooh.
Natural 20. Nice. Okay. 13 points of damage.
And that is going to. Oh wait, bonus action. I'm gonna take a potion of healing. That's how many d4s?
2
2 plus 4.
plus 2.
So that's 6 points of
6.
healing. You healed for 9 total points of healing in this round.
All right, so he kind of like he's slumping on his hammer. Then he goes after he says this to Illis, he kind of like stands back up straight, swings his hammer with both hands. 1, 2, and then takes one hand and drinks one more potion before slamming it down.
Wait, that's not right.
Ah! And just screams into Balsheshba's face.
Okay.
And I end my turn.
It is going to use a legendary reaction. Or sorry, a legendary action to change its chromatic resistance. You don't know what it is. Maresh, it's now your turn.
Alrighty. Let's get that D8 for my Weaver Might.
Nice.
Others. Alright, we're gonna do the little sidestep, get the line of sight on him, shoot out another moat. Still at disadvantage, please.
You should be saving at the end of your turns for these, by the way. For
I know, I forgot about
for
that.
frightening. Okay. But 25 still hits, so that does land. Roll the damage. $30 points of radiant damage. Nice.
Delightful.
That lands and that shatters a piece of his body clean off. Looks like it did a lot of damage.
Sick. And then action, we are going to cast Wither and Bloom again. And this
Okay.
time, we're going to apply the healing to the Trunker.
Okay, Wither and Bloom. You're going to do it at 5th level. Okay, again, this does not seem to affect Balsheshba at all. Trunker, you may use up to 5 hit dice and then plus 3.
Oh, I use as many hit dice as I want. How many?
5.
Up to 5. Whichever hit dice you want, but only 5 hit dice.
And a fighter, so I'm going to 5d10
Oof.
plus 5. You said
Plus
Plus
3.
3.
plus 3, so 24.
24 points. Okay.
There we go,
You're-
baby.
You're back up to a pretty good place.
I will step back behind my crystal and tell the dragon to start attacking again.
Okay, go for it. These are all straight rolls.
Yep. So here is the first one.
Miss.
Here is the second one.
Miss.
Here is the third one.
Hit.
All right.
Aren't you at advantage? Oh, never mind, because of the disadvantage.
Disadvantage.
And there's the damage.
Okay. He's looking really bad, but he's still hanging on.
Wisdom save.
Wisdom save for... Oh, that's you. You are no longer frightened.
Let's go. And then that will be the end of my turn.
Okay. He's going to use his last legendary action. He's going to try and swipe at your dragon spirit. 23 to hit. 7 points of slashing and 1 of force.
It will hit.
Okay, that's 8 points total. Dragon spirit's looking pretty rough. Balsheshba is going to, again, make 3 attacks. 1 to the Trunker, 1 to Iltus, 1 to the Dragon Spirit.
The dragon spirit is gone.
So he's
Which one won at Iltos?
21.
You served me well.
21 misses.
21 misses. Woof.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Oh, and I got to roll for my concentration.
Yes, you need to get a 10.
Yeah.
You're fine.
That +4 to dexterity is really coming in nicely.
Oh, yes, it is.
Okay. And with its last round, it is casting Banishing Smite upon its hands.
Ooh.
Okay, we go to the other party. Y'all are clearly seeing right now that this this swirling mass of wisp of and dark energy is holding all of these people together. As you try and pry some of them away, it doesn't seem to be any bit effective. And although you pull and pull and pull, it doesn't seem to do anything.
Seems like killing these wisps seem to release people, so let's go check these other rooms. Maybe we'll have more wisps.
Definitely. Let's go up to the one that was north of us.
Hey, sounds good with me. And I do things the Tharn way and bust down the door.
Okay, I should have made this clear, and I apologize because it's a difficult map. There was a door here too. So, do you see where I'm drawing? And there's doors over there as well. Does that change anything you wanted to do?
No, I'm still gonna bust down this one.
Okay.
Now we're gonna go that one first.
You race over and you smash this door. Because of your movement, you're only able to get so far. But you smash down the door and find 2 more. Okay, see the healing yodel. 2.
Good enough.
All right. Nerbera and Theron, from where you were, Nerbera would still have an action. But Theron would not, because Theron would have moved too far.
Okay.
Nerbera?
Okay. I am going to... My action is going to be shooting my arrow left to right.
Okay.
And bonus action would be command Mende to... Well, no, Mende can't get in there. Oh.
What's Minde's speed?
Mende's speed is 40.
I don't believe Minde can get in there in this turn, no. No.
Okay.
Roll your attacks, please. Natural 20 and 18. They both hit.
It was left to right.
Okay, left to right.
Nice 20, by the way.
Mm-hmm. They're both surprised, so I'm going to give you sneak attack, and they both... You hear a loud thud come from the other room. Okay.
Alright, let's keep going. Next door.
You all keep thinking about what you're going to do, but you don't have any more movement. That was your turn. We're still in
No.
initiative. So, Iltas, we're back to you.
All right. Here we go again. This time, we're going to go back to lightning damage. Why not?
Okay.
1, 2.
Your punches
And then-
slam into it, and as that happens, you watch as he just looks at you with a big, I knew it.
All right. Then Fury of Blows. We're gonna switch it to acid damage.
Can you switch in the middle?
It just says when you damage a target with unarmed strike, you can change the damage type to acid, cold, fire, lightning, or poison.
Nice.
Oh, so it's just whenever. Okay.
You can change
I-
it for every strike if you want, apparently.
That's nuts, but that's really fun. Okay. Change it to acid.
Bardic inspiration for damage.
Yeah, let's throw in that bardic inspiration on the 28.
Okay.
So that's a D8
Yes.
plus 3 damage,
Okay.
Something.
and then okay, I still got 2 more of the then another my hasted action, Breath of the Dragon. Let's cover him in acid. Why not?
Go for it.
Just imagine this being animated. The
Blah.
Dragonborn punching a giant devil in the face, his fists flashing different colors.
I fail, so 5 points of damage.
When you use stunning strike, maybe.
If he's got the key points, he can.
I lost my key points. There they are. -1 for that. Yeah, let's throw a stunning strike in there too. That'd be a DC 14 as well.
Stunned.
Let's go.
Wow. Okay, the creature is now stunned. All right, Iltis, is that all of your actions?
Yep, and I'm going to stay put.
Okay, Trunker, you're up.
What are the conditions for stun?
All
Yeah.
attacks against the creature are at advantage.
Gotcha. So. And he's incapacitated for the entire time.
At the start of his next turn, at the end of his next turn, the stun will end.
Oh, gotcha. All right. So he is going. So, yep.
Or I apologize. At the beginning of Iltas's next turn, the stun ends.
Gotcha. So. Let's do this, Eltos. Let's show him why we are the champions.
Actually, it's till the end of my next turn.
That's my fault.
Yeah.
Okay, 24 hits, 12 points of bludgeoning damage.
I'm going to swing him, hit him once with my hammer, and as I hold it overhead, I'm going to say, "You were talking about taking the gloves off? We use hand wraps, my friend."
18 will hit. Okay, 6. 2 attacks in.
And that's going to. Do I have any bonus actions? I don't think I have anything that can be used for bonus, so I am just going to just keep on taunting him.
Okay.
After I hit him, I hit him once, and then I bring up my hammer to over my shoulder, and I flex.
Just. All right, Maresh, it's now your turn.
All right, sick. Weaver might.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
7. Wonderful.
+8. Oh wait, no.
Did.
All right, we're gonna do the little sidestep, get the line of sight, shoot out another mote. And it hits. Let's go.
Okay, 20 does hit for 26 points of radiant damage.
Radiant. I really wish I could
He's-
send out more than one mote at a time.
He's coming apart, but he's
Wonderful.
still active. Fighting a devil in his domain is always a massive fight.
Don't you have advantage because he's stunned?
I believe it's a
that
ranged attack. I think that Uh,
Yeah, it is a ranged spell attack.
hang on a sec. That's actually a very good question. Conditions. Da-da-da-da-da-da. Poor laptop. It's like on fire underneath my hand right now. Blinded, charmed, deafened, grappled, petrified, poison, prone, restrained, stunned. Any attack rolls? Yeah.
Oh, well, let's see if it crits.
Yeah.
No.
It did not. But thank you for telling me that. I thought it was only melee attack. For
And it
diving.
automatically
Oh, no.
fails any strength or dex saving throws.
Yep.
All right. And then we're going real big with this one. 8th level Draconic Spirit returns.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes its armor class 22, and it's got 70 HP. And
You get
it's
to
going
choose where he's.
right back there in that spot for the flank.
How much? How many hit points?
80 or 70.
Okay, thank you. And what's his AC?
22.
Jesus.
Yeah.
It actually has the AC of an ancient dragon now.
That's hilarious.
Okay, Maresh, you're up. Oh, sorry, that's your
Alright.
action, bonus action. I believe that's your turn.
Yep, but he gets his turn right after me. So here come his attacks. And
Uh,
since I summoned him at level 8, that means 4 attacks.
Yes.
okay, go for it. These are all at advantage.
Yeah, so first one,
This hits.
here comes damage. Here's the second attack.
It wouldn't be super advantage because he's flanked, right?
Not for this situation. A 17 is gonna miss.
Gotcha.
All right, here's the third attack.
Hit.
Here's that damage. And here's the fourth attack.
All right. That hits as well. Okay.
And then I will move back behind my crystal.
You're watching as Balsheshba is barely holding together this form, but it's still just this mass of burning blood and fire and brimstone and flesh. It looks awful, but he's still maintaining. His turn is skipped because of the stun. We go to the other party. All right, where do you wish to go?
I'm heading back in and using dash to get to the arrow. This door.
Okay.
And
The door appears open.
having Minday come in behind me. Actually, on top of those.
Okay. Is that your full turn?
And I'm gonna. Yeah, because bonus action was telling Minday to follow.
Right. Okay. Theron, it's now your turn. What do you want to do? Okay, you run over to that door. You're muted, by the way.
Sorry, I said I was gonna go over to the door and I'm gonna bust it down.
You bust down this door. Again, all the doors are open, but I love your enthusiasm. You smash down the door, find an armory, and on the other side, you find one wisp.
I hit it with my battle axe.
See if you have the movement for that. You do. You can get there.
wait.
I'll give that to you.
I go up to it. I'm just like bonk. That's all.
It dodges out of the way.
I bonk again.
It dodges the other way.
Bonk does not work.
Okay. As you finish, it retaliates. Uh, 21 to hit. Does 21 hit your AC?
I have a 22 AC.
Okay, so it misses. Gotcha. All right. That is the end of both of your turns. We go back to the other party. Iltas, you're up.
All right, so we're gonna go full on Draconic Strike. Draconic Strike.
What is your element?
Acid.
Okay.
These are at advantage because of the spirit.
Oh.
Right.
I
So
always forget that.
right. So the first one is not. So the first one will miss, but roll the next one's at advantage.
All right. Second one.
Hits.
Nice.
We're gonna spend a key point and do Fury of Blows.
Okay.
Nice.
Both will hit for
And-
15, and you have your hasted action.
Hasted action. I'm going to use my last Breath of the Dragon.
Okay.
And I'm gonna blast the line of acid again just off to the side so I don't hit the Draconic Spirit.
Okay. It automatically hits. 3. All right. It is. Go ahead.
And that ends my turn.
All right. It is no longer stunned. Trunker, it's now your turn. Or sorry, no, it is not. As soon as it shakes the stun, it
Ah! I hate this.
it is going to use a legendary action to attack the Draconic Spirit. And a 19 does not hit, so it misses entirely.
Yes.
Trunker, your turn.
Ugh. So, I don't really have anything for bone. Actually, yes, I do. I'm gonna use because we got a few of those potions that he gave me. I'm gonna use the potion of growth.
Okay.
Oh boy.
And to become twice my size. So, that gives me what? It's gonna give me how much for damage?
An extra D4.
An extra D4.
Mhm.
I'm going to go ahead and attack him with my. Oh, it's no longer advantage. Oh wait, is it? Yeah, because of the new draft. So
You're
it's still
flanking.
at advantage. Alright. Awesome. So I drank it real quick. Fremont, remember kids, don't do drugs. See. Plus
All right, it hits.
one D4.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And he's going to attack again with his extra attack. Do for an extra 4 points of damage when that one finishes rolling.
That does hit. 15 points of damage.
And
Okay.
I'm gonna move over here. Wait, hold on.
Kind of skirting the edge. Okay.
And I'll just keep where I'm. Get them where I'm at. Yeah.
Okay. He is going
And
to. Go ahead.
Oh, and just that I end my.
Okay. He is going to use a legendary action to attack you after that. 23 to hit.
The hits.
25 points of damage total.
Oof.
Does the potion not add anything to your AC?
Oh, I forgot to add the Weaver Mind too. So +4.
Lucky. Maresh, it's now your turn.
Alrighty. Well, seeing as there's now a giant Loxodon on the battlefield, I'm going to step this way to get a sight, and we're going to shoot out another bolt.
Okay.
Oh, I meant to do that advantage. Same. That's fine.
Why are you doing it at advantage?
Oh, that's right. He's not stunned anymore.
So 23 still hits.
And then here's the damage.
24 points of damage. Smashes into him, and you see now his form is just a crumbled mess, but it's still holding together with just sheer hatred. Okay. That's your bonus action. Healing Yodel.
Yes.
Thank you. Good.
God, I've used so many of my spell slots. We are going to do a 4th level barrage of magic missiles. So here come 6 casts. 1,
Okay.
2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
You watch as each one of the missiles come out of the behind you as you release them all at once, and you watch as each one of them slams against some kind of a red barrier around Balsheshba, and none of them make impact.
Fair enough. I'm going to step back behind my crystal and tell my dragon to start attacking him again.
Okay.
Here comes the first attack.
This will hit.
Oof.
Here comes the second attack.
As you watch as the creature's hands now slam into where you see Balsheshba's jaw, you watch as the Amethyst Dragon Spirits just rips the jaw completely out from behind, and you watch as the rest of the body begins to crumble and fall into pieces all around the Trunker, Iltas, and Maresh. As Balsheshba is now no more.
Let's go!
Woohoo!
That's what you get when you mess with the champions of the BWLC and their manager.
Oh, my
Let's
beautiful.
give it up for Mirror. And he starts blowing his trunk like a horn as he starts falling down.
Okay. You all are out of initiative for now, but we still have to continue with the rest of the fight. So, initiative is still active, but you're no longer within a threat. Okay. The spirits are all going to make an attack. Theron, you're going to get attacked twice. 21 and 22.
22 hits.
14 points of piercing damage, and I need for you to make a Constitution saving throw. Okay. Your maximum hit points is reduced by 14.
Okay.
Narbera, you listen to the door that's in front of you, and you now see that the wisps begin to pull and slink out as they pass ethereal through the doorway and surround you. You're going to get 8 attacks against you. 4 of them are going to be at advantage. I might have clicked once too many times. Let me double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. No, that's correct. What is your AC?
20.
9 plus 6 plus 9 plus 11 plus 6. Come on, mental math. And I need for you to roll me however many times you were hit. Constitution saving throws. Why can I never find a calculator when I need it?
How many times was I hit?
I'm about to tell you.
Five, it looks like.
5 times. So I need 5 saves, please. Take 41 points of piercing damage.
Like 41?
Yes, and 3 of them failed, so 9 plus 6 plus 9. Your maximum hit points are reduced. 9 plus 6 plus 9, that's 19, 24. Your maximum hit points are reduced by 24. And you take a total of 41 points of damage.
Okay.
Okay, it is now your turn.
You said 24, correct?
24. Your maximum hit points is reduced by 24. You take 41 points of damage.
Hey, I'm going to... They're gonna be unarmed strikes against them because I didn't pick up my daggers when I came back in.
Go for it. You know, you can still use your bow. They're just going to be at disadvantage. There's probably a better chance of still hitting them with a +9.
Okay, well, actually, I was going to do top to bottom, the 2 on my left,
Okay.
since the one on the top would be advantage, so it would negate the disadvantage.
Correct. So just be a straight roll. Then the one below would be disadvantage. 13 is not going to hit, unfortunately. Nor a 12.
Bonus action, Minday is going to bite the one in front of him.
Okay, that's at advantage.
And I was rolling on the wrong page, so this should show the +4 proficiency as well.
Okay, go for it. Those are damage.
Oh, sorry.
Okay, does hit. And does Bendega get 2 bites or just 1?
Just one, but at advantage.
Right.
Because she's biting the one between us.
Okay, I'll give you the best of both. As Minde bites, this one explodes.
And that is my turn.
All
I'm gonna stay
right.
put.
Theron, it's now your turn.
I'm going to bonk the creature in front of me.
Go for it.
Had a bit of a bonk.
Kabong! Does hit.
And then he just says, "Now, perish." Perhaps not.
This one still is up.
Let's try that again.
Now perish.
I said it. Now, perish.
Please.
Please die.
And you smack it this
Think of it.
time, but this time with better manners, and this one explodes.
Thank you. And I'm gonna move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6. As far as I can to get closer to where she is.
Okay, you got it.
So,
Bonus action?
I don't think I have one I can use.
Okay. As this happens,
Yeah, no, I don't.
You watch as the large man slides down next to you, Nabera, and his body is limp. Iltas, we go back to you inside of the void. You're still here. Nothing's changed. What are you going to do? You're muted.
Sorry about that.
It's okay.
I'm going to sprint over to the desk and search to see if I can't find something that could help us, since I'm assuming we're stuck at the moment.
Sure. What you see without having to do a roll is you see a contract that has been completed. You see an inkwell that seems to be full of blood. You see what appears to be a small pouch. This one is very ornately defined. So, like, think Gucci of Gucci. And next to the table, you see a chest.
I grab the pouch, toss it in my pocket, and can I read the contract?
What languages do you speak?
Common, Draconic, and Elvish.
You cannot.
Then I'll come and I'll just check this chest for traps.
Okay. As you do all that, I'll say that's pretty quick. So go ahead and roll me you either do investigation or perception, whichever's better for you. Who cares, man? There's stuff. Nothing bad has ever happened when you've just gone for stuff. Except everything that's happening right now, but, who cares? You'll be fine.
That was an isolated incident. There's no proof.
Trunker, you're up.
You're
Also very big.
Is Balsheshba, is there any remains of him?
Oh,
or
he's
is it all just...
everywhere scattered on the top of this void plinth.
I'm just going to start flexing. You see, there are no gloves to be taken off when you fight with no gloves on. And I've taken too much hits to ever be affected by those things. And he's just like kind of cure wounds on himself.
Okay.
What is that? Oh, and that's plus also 1d8 from the other stuff.
Got it. So that's your action. Maresh, it's now your turn.
All right, sick. Let me get my Weaver Might. Another 8. Let's go. That puts me at full HP.
Nice.
Almost. I'm going to call my Draconic Spirit over and have it try to gently remove the bodies from the formation.
Okay. It tries to reach into the crystal, but the crystal is hardened, and it can't. It's scratching the outside, but it can't make its way in.
It's all hard? Okay, sick. In that case, I'll tell it to start throwing the chunks of Balsheshba into the void.
Okay.
And I will go over here to check this bookshelf.
It begins to throw them into the void, and as that happens, they boomerang back. All right, you check the bookshelf. Go roll me. You can either roll me a history, religion, investigation, or arcana check. One of those 4.
My investigation and my arcana are the same, so I'll go for arcana.
Okay. You find what appears to be a massive spell tome. You see that it is from an archwizard. When I say a massive spell tome, I'm saying it's almost the size of you.
My goodness. Trunker, my good friend, carry this for me. Because I'm probably too weak with my literal negative strength buff.
All right, Nerbera, it is now your turn. You're surrounded. No, actually, wait, I'm sorry. It is the creature's turn. I just happened to have deleted the one that I gave the number to.
They were 17.
They were 17, yeah. I apologize. So what happens when you guys just murder all the things?
I
So
love
easy.
murdering
On that.
things.
Okay, so these are going to surround you entirely, Nibera.
Okay.
4 at advantage to regular. And your AC is 20.
Yes.
Only the natural 20 hits for 16 points of piercing. And I need a con save, please. Okay, you're just taking the damage. That's it. It's now your turn, Nibera.
Okay. I am going to double arrow the one to my left.
Okay. They hit. Roll the damage. 7. All right, with those 2 strikes, it's gone. Exploded.
Okay.
Another one of the victims fall off the tree.
I slide either between them to here. Gosh.
Okay.
To either here, or if I slide over to this one, would I get a...
If you slide to the lower right, you would get no attack of opportunity. If you slide to the left, you would.
Then I am going to slide that way and have midday. Bonus action, have midday come there.
All right, healing yodel to you, Nibera. You get 3 points. And Minde moves. Doesn't Minde bite?
I think my bonus action is actually to either move or bite.
Okay, good to know.
Let me double check.
While you double check, Theron, let's get your action. Or let's get your turn going. Nibera,
I walk
you can
into-
interrupt at any time.
I walk into the doorway and fire a crossbow bolt at the one below Minde.
You got it. Natural 20.
Nat
Nice.
20.
All right, roll that damage. Hang on. That's not right. That's right.
No.
10 points. And it explodes.
Let's go. So many nat 20s tonight.
Yeah, all right. Now the tree only has your friends stacked around it.
I don't think I can hit the other dude with another crossbow bolt from where.
You
with,
need
like,
to use your
around it.
bonus action to reload, but you could.
Yes, she gets a
Oh.
bite. The movement is 3. It just says must take a bonus action on your turn to command it to take an action. So the bite would be the action.
Roll that attack, and Theron, you could. You just need to use a bonus action to reload your crossbow. So you wouldn't get a bonus action, but you could fire again.
I don't really have a bonus action anyway, so I reload it and then just say, "Die, you filthy beast."
Lots of filth here. It hits.
I don't know.
And would mine be an advantage with where where I am to midday?
No, they have to be directly opposite.
Okay.
8 piercing damage.
8 points of piercing damage. Minde does hit. For 6 points, and
I've been
Ooh.
forgetting the acid damage on all those bites, but
okay.
we're good.
As that happens, you watch as the Trunker, Iltus, Cannonbolt all fall off of this tree-like structure, but Maresh stays.
Oh god.
Did we miss one?
There's still more to look.
Maresh,
Do I still have more? Oh, never mind.
Maresh, you can feel your friends beginning to search strong and hard all over. You can start hearing their voices in the back of your mind. You start hearing this somber feeling that you have felt so many times before. And more times your brain has just gone away and you've felt yourself dripped off into darkness. You watch as the trunker slowly begins to pull away. And you watch as the trunker disappears. You watch as Iltis turns around, knowing that something weird is happening. You see him running towards you for just a second, and he disappears. As that happens, you find yourself all alone inside this massive room. Your spirit, your only company.
Ugh. Okay.
You can hear a very small voice start to creep to the back of your mind. Are you ready? Are
No.
you ready, Maresh?
I don't want to go.
I know. But I'm sorry. You only get so many chances.
Can you at least let me go back and say goodbye?
Is that all that you wish?
Yes. I'm too drained to fight this.
I believe that could be done. You have done great things for the countries, for your friends. How about something that I have done many times? A contest.
Oh? I'm interested.
If I win, you will become mine, and I will take you for the next 100 years to help me usher in other souls like yours. If you win, I give you one last chance.
Name your game.
Have at you. And I need for you to roll me initiative.
Alrighty.
Okay. This is now a fight for your soul, Maresh.
Oh boy.
You have gotten yourself pretty far, but now it's the time. All right. So, you go first. Your Draconic Spirit and your Motes of Light are still up.
Gotcha. I want to see. Can I? No, that definitely. All right. We're going to shoot out a moat first. See if that shits.
Okay.
Did that hit?
It does hit.
Okay. Sick. There's the damage.
Okay. You see, as it hits, it does take a bit of chunk out of him, but it doesn't do much.
Then I'm going to cast a 4th level fireball.
Okay.
Just bait.
18.
And then
Does it-
I will tell my. It's a 19, so he fails.
Mhm.
And I'll tell my spirit to start attacking him.
Okay. Is that a bonus action to do so?
No, free action.
Nice.
So here's the first attack. Sorry, the Discord notifications from our tactics channel keep blocking the chat.
It's fine.
I appreciate you guys. I see the messages.
18 hits. Do me a favor. I need to know your class. How many ranks? What is your level, and have you ever gone anywhere else from
15 in sorcerer.
all sorcerer?
Yep.
Okay, thank you.
So that hit. Here comes the damage. Second attack. That was probably gonna miss.
Okay. The second attack will miss. They both miss.
Oh, they both missed. Okay. Then here comes attack number 3.
Okay. This hits.
And attack number 4. And one did not go through. There it goes. And the damage.
Nice.
And then, before I end my turn, I will use 8 sorcery points to regain my 8th level spell slot.
It's a 7th level spell slot, actually.
Or
Just remember, you have to.
And,
The base of that is 1, and then every extra after that is a spell level.
right. That's fine. I'll regain my 7th level. And that will be it.
Okay. For its turn, it is going to move around your Draconic Spirit. It is going to get next to you. You see it pop out with a massive scythe. And as it does so, it comes down very gently. As it comes down with a very soft swing, and it almost sounds like it's singing. The song sounds peaceful, and the song sounds calm as it comes down to you. $26 to hit.
That will hit.
52 points of radiant damage to both of you. Are you still up?
Yes. And that leaves the spirit with 18.
Okay. It's now your turn.
All right. I will move to this side to give flanking for my dragon.
Okay. You watch as its massive eyes look at you the entire time with a very gentle look upon its face.
And the motes are ranged spell attacks, so this is melee range disadvantage, right?
This would be.
That's right.
Okay, that was your last chance. So that was your last moat. So no more moats are floating above your head. And that was a natural 1.
Oh, well. We are going to now cast a 7th level fireball.
You're going to fireball yourself?
Well,
Okay.
yeah.
Let's
I'll
try to
step
get him on the
back in.
edge. Okay, I understand what you're trying to do. Dex save. $21.
He saves.
It takes...
Gets half. Yes.
Okay.
And then tell the Draken to start attacking. First one.
One second before you continue doing that. So that is a natural 20, so go ahead and roll the damage. Okay. That's doubled. Or roll it again, so you can add it together. 13. 13. Okay. Your next attack?
Here's the second.
Okay, 26 hits.
There's the damage. Here's the third attack.
That hits. 10.
And the fourth attack.
That hits.
And that will be all.
At the end of that, you see the Reaper look down at you. And as it does, it puts its hands behind its back, tilts down, cocks its head to one side, and says, "Your potential is very good. You are going to be a grand hero. But this is the last time. I hope you understand that, and you live your life knowing at any moment it could end."
I will live without any regrets.
I don't look forward to seeing you again, but when I do, I promise the next life will be just as wonderful as this. Goodbye, Maresh.
For now.
And you watch as the creature dissipates into a flurry of black, white, and yellow feathers, leaving you alone. But the large purple crystal in the center now appears more gelatinous, as you see your own body suspended in the air.
Then I will try and pull myself out.
You walk through, and as you do so, your vision goes black. All of you who are inside the soiree, now being treated and resuscitated, revived by dozens upon dozens of priests of Shantea. The clerics are all around you, each one of them providing some form of revivification. As they do so, you see 3 of them around Maresh, all using any manner of money tendered to be able to revive him. As that happens, you watch as Maresh's body slowly becomes more animate. And you see as the Trunker, Iltus, Cannonbolt, and Maresh have all been resuscitated. You all have survived this encounter. Maresh, the Trunker, Iltus, and Cannonbolt now have the Rakshas's magic immunity. Any spells of level 1 and lower, you can choose to not be affected by.
Sick.
Maresh, whenever somebody tries, or sorry, this is for all four of you. Whenever somebody tries to detect a otherworldly creature, they will detect devil within you. So this is for all four of you.
So what was that thing? It was
It is
it
a
was
it is a magic immunity. You can choose to be affected by spells of level 1 or lower.
like once a day or just that's it.
Always. You have a very low level magic immunity.
Oh, just yeah, low level.
So,
All right.
with the remainder of the Raxbillough household brought and survived, as the players, as our Vanguard and our players, as our Vanguard, as well as the remaining member from the 54th Vanguard is resuscitated, as the entirety of the party is resuscitated, and the matriarch, patriarch, and oldest child of the Raxbillough household are brought back to life. You all have snuffed out the devilish arms dealer Balsheshba, and it will no longer plague anyone anymore. So with that, we are going to end today's session. And a massive congratulations to the VWLC for eliminating a actual devil in his domain.
Can I just do that last one skywrite as soon as his trunker wakes up and sees that Maresh comes back?
Oh, sure. The trunker lives. Iltis Maresh Cannonbolt come back from death. Nice.
Welcome back.
Sky, so everyone knows that we are back, baby! Because no one can stop the trunker and the VWLC and its the VWLC champions and its manager.
So. God, I love
I
this
can
game
hear
so much.
laughing from across the house.
The way he says manager is just hilarious. I'm sorry.
Manager.
Can I speak to your manager? That'd be
Oh,
hilarious.
man. That would be good. Love for the trunker to go full Karen.
Goes up to Balsheshba. I want to speak to your manager.
Okay. That is awesome. You guys did a phenomenal job tonight. All of our players are going to get 38,000 experience points. That is divided by 5.
7,600. I'll put that in our tactics.
The treasure that you got was a... Iltas, what did you pick up from the desk? One more time.
The nice-looking pouch.
Okay. The pouch that you got was full of eyeballs.
Oh, God.
Ain't that nice?
You do know that not all of these are actual like gooey, icky, squishy eyeballs. Some of them are different kinds. Would you like to use a receiver to identify them?
What do you guys think? Go for it.
Yeah. See what's up with that.
That, along with the massive spell tome I handed to the trunker before it disappeared, hopefully.
Okay. These
Was
are.
I able to grab the?
You have the
I'm
massive spell tome. Yes. Iltas, each one of these are eyes of remote viewing. You see maybe about 5 or 6 dozen of them in this pouch. Each one is unique.
I pick one up and look at it.
You look at it, and as you look right into the pupil, you can clearly see what appears to be right now. You are inside of the actual vision of somebody within what appears to be a palace setting. You see them looking around, and you see them moving up a large staircase. You can see that the walls and the stairs are of elven make. And as you go up a little bit higher, you see that this person looks to their left, and you could see the current leader of Eldadamine. Your eyes snap shut, and all of a sudden you realize, oh crap, whoever that was is here in the city. And that's where we're going to end our session for tonight.
Oh, I already think I have a possibility of who that can be. Oh my dear lord.
All right, everybody. Thank you all very, very much for joining us. If you'd like to join us in our next game to play as either our players or play as the monsters who will provide challenges to our players, you can join us right up here at the Discord. Thank you, everybody, for helping this channel to reach 190 followers. That's awesome, man. I remember when I was struggling to make what's the A word? Affiliate. And now we're keeping this going. Well, 55 episodes we have underneath our belt, and I hope to keep this going. Players, did you guys have fun today?
Oh,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right. Well, we'll do our usual post talk, and I'll tell you all about the dangers that you could have done from before. But I hope that you all have a wonderful time. I'll catch you again next week, because God knows I'm not going to work for a while. Thank you, COVID. But I hope that you all have a wonderful night. We're going to raid Critical Role, get you all those awesome trouble bubbles. And I really, really hope that if you ever decide to go and play D&D, why don't you come and play with us? We're always looking for new players. Thank you very, very much to Black Irish 19, to Rose Kai Kai, Lord Jizer 21, Little Warrior, and Mad God Cthulhu. You guys are always an absolute blast to play with. I will see you all again really soon. Enjoy Critical Role tonight.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Adios.
Oh my
Sayonara.
God.
Hasta luego.
Oh.
Oh.
Make like the wisps and get out of here.
That guy
Except not in a violent way.
Woo.
I'm actually really curious what the next attack was going to be. Let me find
For
out.
who?
Probably
Yeah,
the
that's what I
man who
thought.
fought death himself.
Well,
Taking out Mariah.
so I've never done this before because no player's ever died 3 times. Usually by that time I have players that are just like, you know what, I don't want to play anymore. And then they're just like, they just don't want to go through it again. Because like dying so many times actually does really affect them. So you guys, that was a real treat. Yeah, this was the creature that I had set up against you, and it's oh man. So you fight death, but you fight it based on where you could be. So if you have so many levels in like one specific class, I roll that specific class's hit dice. It has resistance to literally everything that you do to it. And not very
Ain't
huge.
that nice?
Yeah, not very big saves. All of the saves are 3, so just +3. But the attacks are what really gets you, and they're always radiant damage. So higher level characters that keep going up, like they can normally survive. But lower level characters, once the scythe comes out, that's it.
So if I hadn't taken that tough feat a few levels ago, I would have been dead in one shot.
How many hit points did you have left?
He would have bunked.
I had 64 left after that first hit.
You had 64 hit points left?
Yes.
Oh, I should have just kept slicing you.
Slice and dice him.
Tough
Alright.
feet is no joke.
It really
Oh.
isn't, man.
I only have one question.
What's
The hit points or max hit points, is that now the same all the way through, or does it go back up?
No, it goes back up.
Okay.
Yeah, it goes back up to normal after you make the fight. Or after you finish the fight.
Oh.
Thorin's thing now is just busting down doors and saying, "Die, filthy beast."
So if you all didn't defeat that last one, I actually counted how many you had killed. If you didn't defeat that last one, the Trunker, Iltas, and Cannibal Maresh, they were all dead.
Ugh.
Yeah. So
See,
if Nibera would have fell, that would have been that probably would have killed everybody but Theron.
I was thinking if they didn't beat the Wisps fast enough, Balsheshba was going to resurrect. And we'd have to fight him all over again.
No, Balsheshba had 666 hit points.
Jesus.
Oh, shoot.
But every attack from the Dragon Spirit, because it was piercing and because Maresh is a good character, good aligned character, it does double the damage to a Rakshasa.
Oh wow.
So any
Would
pierce.
that be
So if you ever go up against a Rakshasa, everybody, use piercing damage with a good character.
They just go.
I should have been using my
Bye-bye.
claws.
Yeah, right?
Jesus.
Now you know.
I have a question. I
What's
have a question. When you blew like the trumpet like a horn, did you appreciate me turning into a trumpet and going?
That was you? That was
Yeah.
awesome. That was fucking
I learned
awesome.
I can do that not too long ago.
That's great.
Nice.
Hey, maybe that should be your next character. Make a Loxodon. The ultimate.
Yeah, I
ultimate.
should just make an elephant in it so I can just go die, bonk.
He's actually talking about making a new character.
Go
so-
for it.
Ooh.
I might actually. I'm thinking about it now. I was thinking about it because the whole being able to be possessed by Balsheshba at any point in time. Like I'm just fighting him. He's like, no, I don't like your attitude. You're mine. He just snaps his fingers and like blackout.
Oh yeah, that's
Die.
right. Your shield is no longer cursed.
Yay. That's why
So
spend
it's-
money on trying to pay someone to get rid of a curse when you could just kill the person who made the curse.
That's one way to do
It
it.
is
I just
obviously
keep
superior
making-
way.
I'm not gonna lie, I was just worried that Trunker was going. Like, I'm not gonna lie, when Trunker said, "All right, let's go ahead and do your thing," after he did that, I was like, "Oh God!" I had every expectation that he was going to die when I saw that critical hit happen on the Trunker.
Yeah. By the way, if you all go to 0 hit points while you're in hell, you're just dead.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you guys really eked out there.
Yeah.
Thank
I was
God I went
glad
through
I
my
had
spell
exactly
before the game.
5,000 points because I used both of them on that yodel, on those 2 yodels. I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, let's get Illitas.
Thank God I went through my spell list before the game and got the dragon and wither and bloom.
Yes.
Oh, I looked at
Yes.
that when I was making Artemis. I looked at that. That's a dang good spell.
That's an incredible spell.
When Maresh was still on the tree, I thought we missed one because I thought there was like a door in that where
Yeah,
that
the
top area
bathroom.
is to the side. Yeah, I was about to be like, oh crap, we missed one. I was gonna just say, that's it. I'm loading my crossbow. I'm going wisp hunting.
Can I? I'm gonna show you. Sorry. Thank you.
Bless you.
I'm gonna show you guys something. You didn't miss one.
You missed a lot.
It just shows every single square is
I
occupied
locked
by
out
a
of the.
wisp.
I'm working on it. Give me a sec. There was a couple.
I'm not gonna lie though, when that poetic thing and then Maresh did use the inspiration to re-roll it, I'm like, you know what? I accepted. It was a good poetic death after he says that. But then Maresh came in with that. I'm like, you know what? This is fine. This is good. This is good.
Yeah.
Trunker doesn't need to go out. Trunker doesn't care about poetic deaths or poetic reasoning in life. He doesn't even know what a poet is.
All right, everybody. I gotta get to bed. I'm wishing you all the best.
Sleep tight, man.
Okay.
All right,
Have a
take
good
care.
night.